Hey, this is the Review Junkie, and today I'll be reviewing the new Disney Plus show, The Acolyte. As always, my review will be illustrated and the artwork is done by myself. And if you like movies, art, and comic books, please hit that subscribe button because all my reviews are hand-drawn, and I'd like to get to 1,000 subscribers soon so my channel can be official. This show stars Amanda Stenberg, Lee Jung-jae, Daphne Keane, Charlie Bennett, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Carrie Ann Moss. This is a non-spoiler review, so everything I discuss will have been shown in the trailers. Absolutely no spoilers. I'll tell you briefly about the plot, the characters, my pros and cons, final thoughts, and if this is worth checking out on Disney Plus. Oh man, where do I begin? So this is a tough one, but let me keep it real with you because that's what I do on this channel. I keeps it real. This isn't terrible, but it isn't great either, and I feel like if you're a Star Wars fan, you may already have things figured out by the trailer alone. So this takes place 100 years before The Phantom Menace, and I was here for that. Give me some Star Wars history. The plot involves Amanda Stenberg, who plays Asha, a former Jedi, and she's just living her life as young teen Jedis do, and whatever they do in their early 20s. Over the course of the 2 episodes, there's the murder of 2 Jedis, and guess what? Yes, Asha is the prime suspect. Okay. The murderers bring Master Soul, a Jedi Master played by Lee Jung-jae, along with his other 2 colleagues to investigate, evaluate the clues, and try to solve the truth behind these killings. So I'm a Star Wars fan, I've seen all the movies and a few of the shows, but man was Obi-Wan such a letdown. I'm not a hardcore Star Wars nut, but I can appreciate it for what it is and its contribution in the sci-fi cinema space. So I was like, let me give this show a try. So yeah, it's not great and borderline average, but I'm trying to stay positive regardless. Now, I don't think this has anything to do with whether you're into Star Wars or not, because a good show is a good show. But this is one of those shows where the trailer ends up being better than the actual show itself, and we're only on episode 2. So my first pro is the opening fight sequence. It's stylized kung fu fighting, and why has no one ever tapped into this before? Give us the Matrix of Star Wars. Then something else happens, and I was like, okay, we have a murder mystery, and I love murder mysteries. One of my favorite genres. That show Detective Conan is one of my favorites, and it just never gets old. Just shock and surprise me during the reveal, because I love those aha moments, but that excitement quickly disappeared around the halfway point because a reveal comes out, and it dashed any hope that this would be a murder mystery that went on for the entire season with a big reveal in the finale. And I love when a show has the ability to drag out a murder mystery for the entire season. I also just think it's inventive when genres get mixed, like a superhero movie becomes a political thriller. Like, give me something new, but that something new only lasted for a few minutes. The second thing is, I do like the acting by the 2 main characters. Amanda is very likable, and I think sometimes it doesn't even matter how good of an actor you are, but whether you come off likable on screen. So my main MVP here is Master Soul. Lee Jung-jae is great. He brings a level of gravitas to the show that is much needed, and he's the most relatable one and the only one who's actually smart and thinks with logical sense. And I was sitting there like, please give him his own show. So the gravitas that he's giving also segues to my biggest con. This felt like a Halloween cosplay event. The show is the furthest thing from the definition of sophisticated, and it reminded me a lot of the Obi-Wan show. It feels very amateurish, the costumes are very poor quality, and even to the fight sequences, it's choreographed and one can see the actor is waiting for the other actor in the scene to execute their move versus actually fighting the person off. And they're just waiting there to get hit, and it's noticeable. And all of this only adds to how much this show has an ambiance of a joke. I understand this takes a lot of money to bring this to the small screen for consumption, and kudos to everyone behind the scenes working hard, but it seemed unoriginal. All the Star Wars shows and the last trilogy is really building new content around the existing lore that has already been created, and it doesn't feel fresh or intriguing in any way. Next, we have another scene with younglings learning to use their powers in class. Like, how many times can we keep seeing that? And immediately as this character shows up, I almost started laughing. It was hard to control myself. You can't paint people green to remind them of Yoda and think it's going to pass. Daphne Keene as Jackie Lan was hard to take seriously as well. It's better if they were normal humans in Jedi clothing than trying so hard to make them look weird. Having background characters look like odd space creatures only added to how glaringly obvious this show isn't where it needs to be. On top of that, nothing so far has given me any reason to root for any of the characters. I just don't feel invested in any of them. On the plus side, the sets look nice. I like the use of practical effects versus having everything be CGI, and it did add to the realism of the show, and they tried with the world building, and some of the special effects look good versus others that were just very questionable, PlayStation 2 special effects. So this brings me to my final thoughts, and the first 2 episodes gets a 6 out of 10 from me. It almost got a 7 had the one murder mystery been dragged out for the whole season and become a whodunit, but I'm gonna stick this one through and finish the show even though there are definite editing issues and some questionable acting. I'm really hanging in there in hopes there will be some unexpected twists and turns as it gets closer to the season finale. So if you have Disney Plus, I would suggest you check this out and at least give it a try before you make up your mind. So thank you again for checking out my review. If you like, please subscribe, helps the channel out a lot. Hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share this with your friends. And if you happen to have a movie you'd like me to review, please let me know. I'd be happy to watch and illustrate it for a future video. Thanks again, and I hope the pictures put a smile on your face.